Hey, hey! So in this video, I wanted to walk you all through getting your account set up to start trading in NinjaTrader and getting going with your technical analysis indicators. And so let's just jump in and I'll show you the steps. So first, you're gonna create your account in NinjaTrader. You'll have to deposit some money so that they can activate the real-time trading charting for you. And then you'll be on this page with quotes, trade, and manage at the bottom. And this is where you can look at all the favorites that you've added. So you wouldn't have any favorites in the beginning. So I like to trade micros. Um, and I like to start with $2,500 in my account. And then once I reach 3,000, then I take out 500 and put it back in my bank account. So it's kind of like a little side business for me. That being said, I never keep a position or a contract past the 15 minutes before closing time, which for me is 3:45 p.m., because then you would need the minimum initial margin requirements, and those are higher than the day requirements. It's $200 to trade gold for the day. The initial margin requirement during the day is 200, and then if you hold it during the closing time from 3:45 to 5 p.m. Central Time, then you would need the full initial margin requirement, which is much higher, over 5,000. Anyway, so that's what I like to do. I like to treat it as a side business, and once I reach 3,000, then I take out 500 and I start all over again. Let's get started. So you would go to micros if you want to trade micros, because it's easier to get into if you have um, if you want to start out with a lower money, something that's not going to be so volatile, and something that uh, you know well, the initial requirements are lower to get into as well. So anyway, let's click on micro E-mini S&P 500, and we would add that to our favorites, which I've already done there. And so under our favorites, we would have that. We go in, and these are the basic indicators that I have added, which I will show you how to do right now. I have three EMAs. One is the 21 period, one is the 40 period, and one is the 200 period. Then I have, and those are exponential moving averages. Those are better than simple moving averages. Then I have the VWAP, the volume weighted average. That's in purple. And then I have the ATR, the average true range. That is great for seeing at this time period how many points this instrument typically moves. So at the 15-minute time period, gold is S&P is typically moving about 10 points, at least in the last 15 minutes. And then down here, I have on the second chart, I have the RSI and the stochastics. That is the relative strength index and the stochastic oscillator, and I have it with lines just so that you can make sure that you're below the lines that you need to be. In the second chart, I have the average directional index, which is great. And then at the very last chart, I have the volume. I do like to use the candlesticks, and for the time periods, I usually just use 240 minutes, 120 minutes, 60 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute, and sometimes the 2000 ticks when I'm doing scalping. But let me take out all of these and we'll set these up in a way that works really well that you can copy if you like. So let me remove all of these. And actually, while I'm removing these, I'll just go ahead and pause until. Okay, so we're back. And we have a bear chart now. Remember, you can go up and down on the chart on the right. Oh, it's loading. Okay, you can go up and down on the right. And usually the chart will start out with just the volume bar, which is great to see where in the day there's been the most volume of people trading. Generally, it's at about 9 in the morning. We can probably zoom in here and see that. Say it's about 9 o'clock. Yep. That's when the New York Stock Exchange opens. You can see in this time they were pushing the price up. So you can make a habit, if you'd like, of just trading early in the morning and seeing where the New York Stock Exchange is trading and following the momentum up with them. That's a really great trading strategy. But anyway, this is how your chart will start out with adjusted volume. And then I like to add these indicators that I was going over before. So I'll just go ahead and show you that real quick here. EMA, exponential moving average. You'll want to add 3 of these. The first one will be the 21 period. We'll keep that one green. The next one will be another EMA, but this time we're going to make it red. That's going to show you that it's in when the green is above the red, it's in a short-term uptrend, and when the red is above the green, it's in a short-term downtrend. So we'll make that one red. And then the other EMA that I like to add to say the long-term trend of the market is the 200 period, and that's going to be blue. That way, if we look at the 240, and sometimes it takes a second to show up, and if it doesn't show up on the 240, then we can look at it at the 120. So you can use the longer time period to show you that the long-term trend currently is going down because the current price is below the 200 period. The 200 period is 68.78 right here, and the current price is 68.44. Let's see if the 240 is going to show up. There we go. Now it showed up. So yeah, also the 240 period is showing, our 240 minute chart is showing that the current trend is down. So those are the EMAs that I would like to add. And then it's great to add, aside from the volume, it's also great to add in the VWAP, probably the most important indicator, except I don't like the color that it comes with, so I go ahead and change that to purple. Changing the colors to what you prefer makes it a lot easier to read when you follow the same structure every time. You're looking for the colors, color coding. You know, we learned those things pretty early on. So anyway, now I know that the purple is the VWAP, and the blue is the 200 period EMA, and the red is the 40 period EMA, and the green is the 21 period EMA. The next thing I like to add is the MACD, the moving average convergence difference. This one, I don't like the standard colors that it comes with, so I generally change those. I change that from the difference being black. You don't have to do this, but I do. I like the MACD to be a green color, showing you that it's going up, and the signal being red, showing you that it's going down. So then if we look at this now, it looks a lot nicer than it did before. And we can see that when it's the red line, it's signifying that it's going down. That is not the right green either. So I'm really particular about my colors. Oh, I guess it is the right. Oh, it was the wrong. No? Oh, anyway. Use this green. Yeah, this one's better. That's better. Okay, so anyway, we can see that in the MACD, we've got the peaks and valleys, and when the red is above the green, it's in a downtrend, and when the green is above the red, it's an uptrend. So you can see how the market moves in this wave. And all you need to do is ride the wave, jump on that wave and ride it. And so, moving on to the next one, I usually like to add, and these two are very important, the RSI, Relative Strength Index. And we will add this into a new chart, plot area number 4. The only thing I like to change on this one, and I'll show you why. So that's going to be now in this 4th chart down here. And then with this one, I think it's great to have both the RSI and the stochastics oscillator on the same chart. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. I did not select that. Stochastic oscillator with lines. So now that's going to be on the same chart because they typically follow the same pattern. So you might as well just put them both on the same chart to save space, especially on mobile, because you only get these 4 charts total, 3 additional for your technical analysis. Right, so the only thing that I typically change is the color of the RSI, because for me, the gold color that it starts out with is a little dull. So I'll usually take that RSI color and I'll change it to black. And again, this is just my personal preference. You can keep it how it is, but now you can see it much better. And then this line, these two, there's 5 lines total, horizontal lines right now. The one at the top is saying that when both the purple and red lines are above that, it's saying that the contract is currently overbought and it would be a good time to sell, generally speaking. When it's below the blue line, then it's oversold and it would be a good time to buy, generally speaking. Please note, I am not at fault. Okay, anyway, no, trading it can be dangerous. You can lose a lot of money, so make sure that you practice first, use a simulator, and always put in your stop loss so you minimize your exposure to risk and you minimize your loss, because you will lose. There's no doubt about it. There's no way to trade and not lose. You're going to lose. I don't know how to make that any more clear. You will lose money, but you will win money too. The whole idea is to win more often than you lose. And with technical analysis and good, we'll call it housekeeping practices of using these setups like your bracket orders and your trailing stop or your auto break-evens, you will minimize losses and expand your profits. Okay, where was I? Right, so there's 5 horizontal lines here. The green and the red are for the RSI. It's similar to the stochastics, except when the RSI is above the green, it's saying that it's overbought. And when the RSI is below the red, it's saying that it's oversold. And the only thing I like to change in this is the middle line, because I don't think that's really actually that important. So I usually go on here and I change the middle to be very dim so I don't see it much, because I just don't think it's that important. So now it's a little dimmer, and all I'm really looking for is to be above the blue lines on either side, because those are the prime spots, right? The other thing that was in here, which I was talking about a little bit earlier, was the average true range. And I usually just put that on the first chart, change it to plot area number 1. And we don't need to actually see the graph, so I changed that to a I with a cross in it. That way you're turning off the ability to see it on your chart. So now it shows up on your chart as ATR, just so you can get an idea of how many points this instrument generally moves in this time period of 4 hours. It typically moves about 50 points. And of course that changes depending on the time frame that you're looking at. At 120 minutes, it typically moves, I don't know if I said gold earlier, but it's the S&P 500. This one typically moves 35 points. So those are those are the technical indicators that I like to use the most. I think that there's a lot out there. There's also Tiki Squeeze, but that's not working for some reason lately, so I haven't been using that one. And also, I've been using a great new strategy that I'll get into in the next video. But this is the general setup that I use for all of the instruments, and it serves me pretty well. So if you want to copy this, that's fine with me. If you want to go about your own style and as you learn how to trade, then you can do that as well. But I hope this was helpful, and let me know if there's anything I can answer for you in the comments. Cheers.